would like to say it shouldn't have an impact because I just think since COVID and the downturn and everything, like there are so many reasons nowadays why people have a gap that I really try hard to make sure that my managers for the past number of years like aren't kind of falling back into that there's a gap or why did they leave and not have a job, right? Because so many people have been unpacted involuntarily. Just it seems like the market has not settled in a very long time. So I would like to say that it shouldn't. It could, yes. It could. How to get around that, or not, maybe not how to get around that, but how to start changing that conversation. One of the ways that I do like to see, because I think one of the concerns around a gap, it can often just be like, how are you keeping your skills current? So this is where something like, depending on if it's more engineering related, starting to contribute to open source can kind of help with that. Maybe taking kind of not like college courses, but like kind of showing kind of, maybe free certificates or doing coursework or finding ways or like starting to build your own project. So I think that is most important to address have you gotten rusty kind of in a year. And so that I would find a way to do on your resume or in a cover letter, fill in the blank. And then I would say, really kind of when a recruiter asks you, hey, what have you been up to in a year? That's really what they're looking to hear in an interview. Like, how are you kind of keeping up? What are you trying to do to, make sure that you're staying abreast? But I actually find it really helpful when people list on their resume, like impacted by, X% layoff or team limited, just because I think it does help like very early on get to the point of like, hey, life happened, it wasn't necessarily your fault. It wasn't performance related. I do actually find those things helpful sometimes, especially if it's happened to you a few times in a row. And even before COVID, this was kind of a problem in startups because startups go under. Right. So you could join a startup, it could go under in a year, and then you join another one. And if it doesn't, like, especially people who take risks on pre-seed startups. So I do actually in some ways, and you'll see it on my LinkedIn too, I kind of note where acquisitions happened. I note where kind of companies closed because I do think at least, kind of from the start on that first resume read sets a very specific like startups happening. If you don't anticipate, like if a recruiter is not anticipating that a startup could have closed, then it's a little silly.